Is good, everybody? Social Assassin in the building. I have a story for y'all today. I've told this story maybe to a handful of people because it's just one of those stories that there's just no point. And I'm going to be cammed up for this. It's one of these stories that there's no point in telling anybody other than the people who know you very well, right? I've maybe told a handful of people this story. So I know there's nobody in here yet. If you missed the beginning, you're gonna have to run it back because I'm gonna keep this as smooth as possible. There's a lot of details, so I don't want to have to keep running it back. So y'all can catch the replay. Now, welcome any new viewers. Please like, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined to. If you enjoy the content, like, share, and subscribe. If you don't enjoy the content, dislike, don't subscribe. It's all on you. You know, if you like the content, you like it. If you don't, you don't. So I'm going to be telling a story today from when I was 17. And you know what? Let me put my headphones on. We got to do this right. I hope the audio is better. Okay, so when anybody who's been watching the channel heard me tell the story on an episode of Unscripted Logic, which I've re-released a couple in the last couple days, Rap Ref, Adept HNIC, and the first episode with MME Educating. I re-released those 3 unscripted episodes. Fresh Coast, salute, brother. You are in for a hell of a story, my man. So now I told this story about when I was locked up, right? Well, when I got out of lockup, there was, I spent my 16th birthday in there, and I would say I was probably about 17. I got sent down to live with my sister back in Massachusetts, where I was originally from, right? So I go down there and I'm living with her and her roommate, right? And I'm not going to say anyone's names except the person who did this stuff, and you'll understand later why I'm going to say his name. Oh, shit. Happy birthday, Fresh Coast. Shit, man. I've been so out of tune. I didn't even know that, bro. I'm so sorry. Happy birthday to you, brother. Salute. Salute. Well, this is definitely a good birthday present because this story is crazy. All 100% facts. And now, normally, when I was 16, 17, I had, and this isn't me bragging because I'm not the hero of this story, but many times at 15, 16, 17 years old, I was beating the shit out of 30, 40-year-old men. So this guy, I knew I could have took him, but in the moment it was a different situation. Okay, so let's start. Well, I had the flu, Fresh Coast, so this Tuesday will be my first one because it was supposed to be last week, but I had the flu. So clip, salute. All right, so I'm gonna get into this story. Y'all are in for one, man. This shit was crazy. So I'm living. I get moved down to my sister's apartment. And she's living, well, it was a house in Medford, Massachusetts, and close to Somerville and Malden, where I grew up. You know, Southie, you know, is not far from there. Also, another place I grew up. So anyway, I get moved back down there because my parents couldn't feel like they could handle me anymore. Even though when I got out of lockup, I was, much better at whatever. So anyway, I was a much better human being. But so I go down to live with her, and her roommate is a single mother bartender. Okay. Now, let me just paint this quick picture for you. I slept in the living room on the couch. Her bedroom was off the living room and there was no door. It was just a big wide archway with curtains. Okay. So she would bring different guys home all the time. She was a bartender and she was hot. So, she would bring guys home all the time and I'd have to fucking listen to it, whatever. But I was living there for free. This guy who had a crush on my sister he was growing weed at the time and it was so fire and I was smoking that. So I was blitzed out of my mind every second of every day. So anyway, a lot of the time, because my sister worked overnights at like, doing whatever, stocking shelves or whatever. So she was working overnights and I would be home often by myself because, bartenders work late or whatever. But she would come home and she would flirt with me, the roommate and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, word, I'm gonna get the smash. But what ended up happening, we were at a KFC. And this guy came up and introduced himself to my sister's roommate. My sister wasn't there. It was me, my sister's roommate, and her son. And we were getting KFC. And this guy, and I don't know what was up with her mentally, but like they met at the KFC and then he left with us to go back to her crib. B702, salute, brother, salute. We're just getting into the story, so you'll have to run it back for the very beginning, but you haven't really missed much yet. Yes, please hit the like button. This story is it gets really good, but I want to tell it in as much detail as possible. And again, I've only told the story to a handful of people because this is one of those stories that's just people are going to look at you and be like, yeah, right. Just like me telling LeBron James' dad eat a dick and go back to Cleveland. That happened. People going to believe it? Probably not. It happened. Anyway, so like I said, we're at KFC and he starts talking to her. Now, mind you, I don't look at men in that way, but she's a super attractive woman. She's way out of this guy's league. But she's such like a promiscuous person that she was just like, yeah, like come over. So he paid for the food and we went back to the house and he never left. Okay. So for the duration of his stay, a lot of weird things would happen. Now, first of all, she would leave him alone with her son often. He didn't work. So he was home with her son alone often. Luckily, I was there a lot of the time, so I was able to make sure nothing weird happened. I always got a weird feeling from this guy. I just always felt like he was lying about a lot of things and just it was weird. Like we meet you at KFC, you don't have a car, then you come home with us and then you just never leave, which means you were probably homeless, right? So like he's just trying to play her. So one night he's there and I'm there and she comes home from work and she said, and she had some Klonopins, right? And at the time I'm 16, 17, she's like, oh man, she sits down on the couch next to me where I'm laying. And he didn't like that. He thought she was a little too close to me, whatever. She was just like, she was drunk, loaded on Klonopins, trying to give me a couple. Cool, whatever. From that point on, so the next night was a day that she had off, and we were talking about renting a movie. And there were some new movies that had just come out that I'm like, oh, we should rent this, we should rent that. And he's like, no, we should rent Seven. And I was like, yeah, it's an amazing movie, but like, I've seen it a few times. How many times have you seen it? He's like, oh, I've seen it like 100 times. I'm like, okay, well, I don't think we need to watch it then. Let's get like a new movie. And he's pushing us to rent this movie because she had never seen this movie. So in my mind, I start thinking because he kept referencing the end of the movie. And I'm like, if you've seen Seven, I'm like, yo, is he trying to tell her like your head's going to be in a box? Like, spoiler alert. But if you haven't seen the movie, Seven is fire. Seven is fire. It's one of the best movies ever. But it was just weird how he was pushing it. All right. Now, the woman that was my sister, it was her house, the one he was dating. She wasn't even big on movies. She didn't care. Like she was okay with watching whatever we wanted to watch. She didn't care. She wasn't going to be paying attention. She was a drinker. She was a bartender. You know, people who drink a lot, you know, aren't really paying attention to movies. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I don't want to lose my train of thought, but so just more and more weird things. So anyway, we rented Seven, and through the whole movie, he's pointing out like all the crazy shit, and like, and then she starts like dozing off and stuff. He's like, no, wake up. You got to see the end. You got to see the end. And like, he's trying to make her see the scene where they're driving, spoiler alert, driving Kevin Spacey out to, you know, and so like that was the part he wanted her to see. Now, when the movie ended, she was like, why did you want me to see that so badly? And she was dumb, but even she was like, why did you want me to see that so bad? And I'm thinking the same thing, right? So I'm like, this guy's weird, man. So one day, he kept getting jealous. He thought that her and I had a thing going on, right? I was 17. You know, I would have happily went in the bedroom with her. She was hot, but she was, you know, I don't think she had any interest in a 17-year-old, you know what I mean? But he had it in his mind. Plus, she was a bartender. So he always thought that, like, if she wasn't home within 10 minutes of the time she should be, you know, he's going crazy. And it just starts to get worse and worse. So one day, I'm home by myself. We're not even expecting him to be there that day. It's about 8 o'clock at night. I am about 6 joints in within a 2-hour period. I smoked 6 joints in a 2-hour period of this fire ass homegrown that I was getting from this guy, right? All of a sudden, Buddy comes storming through the door. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm laying on the couch. I got weed broken up on a magazine. I'm already high as shit. Like, I've been trying to roll these 2 joints for the last hour. That's how high I was, right? So he comes storming in, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And it made me jump, and I spilt my fucking weed. I was pissed. Whatever. And we had the couch, and we had a little love seat, and then we had just like a chair. And he put the chair in the center of the room, and he's like, sit down in that chair. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now, had I not been so high, I would have immediately attacked this dude. But the other thing was, I knew the woman he was dating, my sister's roommate, was on her way home from work, because she called me and said, hey, I'm heading home. So I knew she was going to be there in a short amount of time. So I had to act fast, and I am high as fuck. And he's watching me, and he's circling around, and he's just mumbling the craziest shit. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to slit her throat, this and that. So I noticed there was a little glass table. It was like metal frame, but it had like the glass top. One of the corners was chipped off. So I look over and I see he's got his hand clenched like that down by his side, and I could see the point. Right? So I'm like, oh shit. Now hold on, let me rewind for a minute. So before that happened, I had managed to, because he went in her room and was mumbling shit, and I think he was like breaking shit. So like I managed to jump up and get to the phone, and I ran in the bathroom and I called one of her friends, and I definitely can't say this dude's name. This dude was like a real gangster, so I can't say his name. But dude was like, I will be there. How far is she away from the house? I said, she's like 5 minutes. He's like, well, I'm like 20 minutes, but I'll be there in 10. So he showed up about 3 minutes after she showed up. He shows up with a broken hand, literally shattered, broke 3 knuckles, fingers, like multiple bones in his hand was broken from crushing someone's face just an hour earlier. Okay. And then this other guy shows up, the guy who had been giving me the homegrown weed. He was a pussy, but he showed up with a can of pepper spray. So anyway, what happened is I'm sitting there, and before anyone gets home, I made the call. I come out of the bathroom. He's standing right outside the bathroom. He yanks the phone from me. Little does he know it's still on, so that dude can hear the conversations going on. So he fucking he takes the phone from me, whatever. He throws it on the couch, tells me to sit back down. At that point, he wanted to tie me up, and I convinced him not to. So what happened was, that's when I happened to notice the piece of, because he's saying I'm going to kill her, all this stuff. That's when I started to notice the piece of glass missing from the corner of that table. Now, I had used that table earlier in the day to eat my Mama Celeste pizza. So I knew that table wasn't broken earlier in the day. So I look over and I see in his hand, he's got a little sharp object in his hand. Yeah, the puss drug dealer is great. Yeah. But yo, he showed up. And so what happened was, the woman got home, and now my biggest concern is keeping her safe, because she's like 5'2", 105 pounds. You know what I mean? She's tiny. So and has a child. So in my mind, I need to protect her. So whatever, if other dude doesn't get here in time, I need to do what I need to do to handle this situation. But I'm fucking blitzed out of my mind. So now keep in mind, this was about 2 months before 9/11, a month to 2 months before 9/11. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, chaos starts ensuing between him and her, and I'm trying to get in the middle. Next thing I know, Buddy comes crashing through the door. Okay. The guy I called comes crashing through the door, and Jesse doesn't know what the fuck's going on, because he's really gonna wait till I tell you the rest. He's really gonna kill her. That's what there's no doubt in my mind, especially after what the police found later. No doubt in my mind he was gonna kill her right in front of us. No doubt. So he was trying to push her. We're trying to get him out of the house. And then this other dude showed up, the guy who was selling me the weed. He showed up too. And the 3 of us are telling him, bro, you gotta go. You gotta go. And we're standing in the living room. She's like right outside her bedroom, which, like I said, was just an archway, no door, curtains. And he's like, let me just talk to you for a minute in the room. And he tries to like push her in the room. And I bumped the guy that I called. I like elbowed him and he looked at me and I pointed to show him, like, look what he's got in his hands. And he saw the piece of glass. So dude just goes, hey. And that guy, Jesse, turned around and with the crushed, broken fucking hand, put him to sleep, one shot. And then the pussy drug dealer, he unloaded a whole can of pepper spray in this dude's face. Then they start to dip because both of them have criminal records, active cases. They can't be caught up in this shit. I'm like, yo. And they're like, what? I'm like, I can't drag him out here by myself. The guy he was a big guy, right? So they're like, fuck. So we just grab him, the three of us, and we drag him out in the middle of the street, right? And then they tell me, because they don't know me from a hole in the wall, they threaten me pretty much. Like if you say anything, if my fucking name comes up, that I said, look, bro, when the cops come, I'm gonna say I moved in here with my sister. I don't know who you are. I do not know who the two people who are that showed up. And that's exactly what I told the cops. But now, this is the crazy part. When the police showed up, they found him. He must have woke up and started like walking down the street. They found him about a block away, just stumbling down the middle of the road, face all fucked up, just looking bad. And then he just collapsed in the road or whatever. But anyway, cops come. They start asking questions, whatever. And then they had other officers or detectives or whatever going through his bags and shit, because he had this one giant duffel bag that was like, it was huge. And that was all he had. That was all he had. So they're going through this bag. This is crazy. Now, keep in mind, this is a month or two before 9/11. They find in this man's bag a map of all the Boston psychiatric hospitals circled with an X through it, like they were targets, right? So I don't know what that was about. Still don't know what any of it was about, because I have my own thoughts on the situation. But then they find an overhead aerial picture from a helicopter, and it's not one of those postcard photographs. It had the time and fucking date on it. It had the time and date on it of when the picture was took. And it was not after September 11th. It was not. It was literally like, it. Obviously, it wasn't after September 11th, but it was literally, I think it was like was taken like 3 months before the incident, right? But it was found just like a month or two before. They also found in his bag a bunch of fake IDs. His name wasn't Jesse. He had just escaped a mental institution, joined some Muslim terrorist organization, and hustled his way into living in this lady's house. Now, I probably could have told that story a little bit better, but if you really think about all the details of that story, it blows my mind every time I think of it. Every time I think of it, it blows my mind that I was in this house with this guy, and I knew something was up. And there was a couple times where I'm like, I gotta take this dude out. But at that time in my life, man, I had just got out of lockup. I was smoking, getting high as shit, right? And had I been sober that night, I probably could have handled it myself. But I had to call this dude, man. I had to call him. Like, this guy was clearly not all there. You know what I mean? And he was looking to kill someone that night. Wasn't going to be me. My bad. Let me see some of these comments. Picante, salute. Huh? Sunday stories with social. Yep. Bruce, salute G. B702, Clip, Fresh Coast. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to y'all. But nah, man. So nah. He don't got a full deck. And what's crazy is they because I was a minor, they wouldn't give me much information. But I would love to know what his real name was, so I could look it up and see and try to find. I'm still gonna do some research and try to find the article at least of this situation, because I'm sure it was, in the news or whatever. But yeah, if I could just remember his name. But the stuff that they found in a bunch of credit cards and other people's names, a bunch of different fake IDs with his face and other people's names, like just so much wild shit. So it does seem like, now, if he escaped from a mental institute, he had to have somebody helping him to get all those fake IDs and to do all this other stuff. You know what I mean? It's just weird. So I hope I told that story in a way where it actually had some impact. I'm gonna do a pre-recorded video of this story and drop it on September 11th, because it does have a lot to do with that. The police were so dumbfounded when they saw that picture. And I even asked the question, isn't that just a picture, like a tourist picture? And they said, no, this is a picture that was taken from a helicopter. See the time and date? See the longitude and latitude? Crazy, bro. Crazy. And even though I think, or I know certain things happen, that I just think maybe he was one of the inside men. That's all. That's all. He was a white dude, but he would say things, man, that just was weird. World-class nutcase. Facts, bro. He belongs in a loony bin. Like, I'm sure they sent him right back. But for me, as being as high as I was and as young as I was, I felt like I handled the situation perfectly, because he wanted to tie me up in the chair. He handed me the duct tape, told me to duct tape my legs to the chair, and then one of my arms, and then he'll do the other. Like, and I convinced him not to do that, because I'm pretty good at talking my way out of things. And then at the second, because he was in such a rage, he wasn't really thinking properly. The second he went in that bedroom, I leaped for that phone and ran in the bathroom and made that call. Now, I could have run out of the house and just got away, right? But I knew the woman was going to be home within the next 10 minutes. And if I had just left, there's no doubt in my mind that she would be dead. There's no doubt in my mind. He tried to kill her in front of us. So if none of us were there, what would have happened? It's crazy. Bruce, good question. And something tells me that he was. Either, okay, so I think it was either he was and was dishonorably discharged because they realized he was crazy, or he didn't pass the mental health evaluation and just didn't get in. It was one of those two things. But yes, he did have some sort of military background or attempt to be in the military. But it would make sense if he was in the military, because then, you know, that goes with my, you know, that goes more with my beliefs of what actually happened that day. You know what I mean? So good question though, Bruce. I am going to do my best and do the research on this, because the crazy thing is I don't even remember the street name that we were living on. But if I went down there, I know how to get there. I know how to get to it. So if I just drive down there one day and just get the address and look it up, and because I know it was 2001. So I'm gonna research this. I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna do a pre-recorded video on it, retelling the story and showing, you know, documents and things like that. But there's gonna be a lot more of these. I have a lot of crazy stories. I don't tell them a lot. Like, I know you guys have heard some pretty cool stories on Unscripted Logic, and they are good stories, but there's a lot I haven't told because they're just either I'm not proud of, or just something that, like, is just, most people are just not going to believe it, and they're just going to be like, oh, you're full of shit. Like, this is one of them stories that's like, but I'll tell you that story. Ask me in 6 months to tell you that story again, and then match it up with this video, and I promise you the details will be the exact same. Promise you. And I know I'm forgetting some details, because this was like a 3-hour ordeal. This went on for like 3 hours, because when he first got there, she wasn't going to be home for like another 2 hours. And I was trying to get him out of the house. Like, bro, just relax, you know, maybe go have a beer, chill out, then come back, trying to like be cool. And then he made me sit in the chair, all that stuff. And he was there just rambling for like, probably wasn't 2 hours. It was probably like an hour just rambling. And then, you know, I knew she was going to be home soon. And like I said, I could have just left, man. But if I had left, there's no doubt in my mind that she would be dead, because this guy was going to kill her. He tried to kill her in front of us, like me and 2 other grown ass fucking men. Like, it's crazy. Like, when you're going to kill a woman in front of 3 grown ass men, you know that it's not going to end well for you. He didn't care. Did not give a fuck. But remember, he infiltrated this bitch for his own. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called her a bitch. He infiltrated this woman, infiltrated her home where her son is, her 6-year-old son at the time. She wasn't cheating on him, but you can't be jealous or mad at anything, bro, because you're playing her. You're using her the entire time to just have a place to stay until it's time for your involvement in whatever your involvement was in that situation. That's what it was. He escaped from a mental institute, needed a place to stay until he needed to be called upon to do whatever he needed to do. And unfortunately, there's a lot of lonely single mothers out there that will fall for this type of shit easily. Like, bro, like I said, they met in a KFC. I was there. And then she's like, oh, he's like, oh, you want to hang out today? You want to just get a bunch of food? We'll all eat together. And she's like, oh, yeah. Like, you want to go to your place? He's like, oh, why don't we go to your place? And she's like, okay, just follow me. He's like, oh, I don't have a car. Right then, I was like, what? He was 38 years old. I'm like, what? You don't have a... And I think I even told her the next day, like, you have to be careful of him, because like, he was very pushy about coming over. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a place to live. He's really pushy about coming over. And then he just didn't leave. So this guy had malicious intent from jump. I'm going to read some of these comments. My bad, y'all. My bad. I didn't want to get distracted. But yes, guys, my comedy shows you guys will definitely get to see them soon. Trust me. Trust me. I am working hard at it. I just unfortunately had the flu, you know. Yes, please hit the like button and share this stream. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this story. Now, I feel like I could have told it a lot better. But as far as just the details and the craziness of it, and for somebody, you know, who just got out of a juvenile lockup facility for 6 months and now is in a situation like this, higher than a motherfucker, like just the situation in itself and all the stuff that the police found after and stuff like that, on a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy of a story is this to y'all? Like, if this happened to you, you know what I mean? I feel you, bro. I feel the same way in Boston. I feel like Boston and New York is very similar in that fashion, but only in certain parts of Boston. Only in certain parts of Boston, like Southie. You know what I mean? Dorchester area, stuff like that. Definitely a 10 on the crazy scale. Clip. Thank you, bro. Cause like this happened a long time ago. And you know, as time goes on, like I've had a lot of crazy shit happen to me. So like I said, I've only told this story a few times, so I didn't know how it would be received, but it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm gonna do the research and try to get the guy's real name, try to figure out all the details to this situation. Because there were definitely police reports and things like that. Not from me, not from anybody else, just from him and the girlfriend. So I'm a 25 on the scale of 1 to 10. That guy is at least a 90. Right, 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 dude, bro. Crucial, salute, brother, salute. Yeah, Crucial. You might have to run this back, bro, if you haven't been watching. This was a crazy story that happened to me in my life. And it's just insane. And I gave as much detail as I could. It was over 20 years ago. So it's hard to keep everything in order, but you know, like I said, ask me to tell this story again in 6 months and it'll be told the exact same way. It's just the details are never going to change because that is what happened. Yeah, Crucial. Definitely run it back. This shit was wild. Now, I I, I realized today I probably shouldn't have put held hostage as my thing because I had an opportunity to get out of there, but it did feel like a hostage situation. And I had to stay to make sure to protect the woman. You know what I mean? So it is somewhat of a hostage situation. Huh? No. So yeah, but yeah, man. So that's it. I'm gonna end this live on that note just because I don't want this live to overshadow, like I don't want anything else to happen that will overshadow the story. Plus I got some company coming over. Um right, right, right. And you know, Clip, a lot of people probably would have just dipped if they had the chance instead of trying to make that phone call. You know what I mean? But I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it because like I said, man, there's no doubt in my mind she would have ended up dead. No doubt. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And and I didn't even say the craziest part. So we'll end it off with this. Her son was sleeping in the other room Her son was home. Her fucking 6-year-old son was home. Yes, sir. You will see Crucial 13 on here very soon. And it is going to be probably my favorite thing I've ever done on this channel. Because I feel like Crucial and I have a lot in common with certain aspects, especially with the Comedy Store and just a lot of different things. Pretty much everything he puts out, man. Yeah, so that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. And you know, we'll make sure it's done right with Pablo if he wants to do it too. So yeah, we're gonna make sure it's done right. We're gonna make sure it's a dope ass conversation, bro. And yo, look out, subscribe to Crucial. I know people say, oh yeah, I fuck with Crucial, I'm subscribed to him. He's got a new channel, bro. It's not that new, but like we gotta get those subscribers out. We gotta, I mean, up. We gotta get them up because he's putting out dope content, and he's putting out another video about the Comedy Store. I believe he said the 25th, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But it's coming out soon. And he's been doing a lot of content about the Comedy Store, which is very, very important. Because that, bro, people were literally caught doing rituals in there. Lily Tomlin, you know, like a lot of actors, a lot of big name actors were caught doing rituals up in the belly room. That's why I like that show that's why that show Kill Tony is like I like the format of the show, but I don't like that the show started in the belly room of the Comedy Store. That automatically gives me bad vibes because what did you do? Yeah, I don't know, man. If you did anything in the belly room, I can't trust you. I just can't trust you. Word. Okay, push back to March. That, hey, no problem, bro. It'll be worth it, y'all. Definitely tune in for Crucial 13 when he drops that video, man. The Comedy Store. He's been the most. I've seen videos made about the Comedy Store, but I swear to you, Crucial's the most spot on one. And maybe not necessarily the most spot on, but he covers it from like every angle and just does such an amazing job of putting the pieces together and explaining it in a way that anybody can get it. You know, Crucial's very, very good at explaining things to people, no matter what their IQ level is. And that's very, very important when you're on social media. Yep. Absolutely did. Absolutely did. Yeah, man. They absolutely did. Bobby Lee walked in on Lily Tomlin, and I can't remember the other actor. There was I think it might have been Richard Gere, maybe not, but it was Lily Tomlin and 3 other big name actors that are like older. And he literally saw them doing some type of sacrifice in the belly room. Bob Zmuda. You know what it is, bro. Look, man, anybody who loves comedy needs to know about the Comedy Store. And yeah, Mitzi Shore, she did put on a lot of people, but you got to understand what Mitzi Shore did to get that business. She fucked over her husband or ex-husband and his business partner, which, do I blame her? Probably not. I don't know the situation, but she turned it into a successful business, but only because she was letting celebrities go up and do sacrifices in the belly room. Wild. Wild. I don't want to say too much more because I want y'all to see it on Crucial's thing. And that was something that I actually wanted to do. That's something that I wanted to do, was make a documentary about the Comedy Store. And then I found Crucials and I was like, oh, I don't even need to now. I don't even need to. Right. So shout out to Crucial 13, man. Go subscribe if you're not. I know everybody in here already is, but yeah, man, if you watch this afterwards, go subscribe to Crucial J Trump 13, man. He puts out the real, and he never sugarcoats anything. That being said, I do have company coming over. I got my niece coming over, a couple other people, but last thing I do want to say. Now, I told everybody, look, I want nothing to do with battle rap. I'm not interested in it. And the reason is because I can't watch it. Like I just can't bring myself to watch a battle. It's so hard for me these days, right? However, The Ring, I was there from the inception. I helped The Ring along. I invested more money into The Ring than anybody else. And that's no shot at anybody else. I'm just saying, like, I've done a lot for The Ring. I was responsible for the pots. I was responsible for all that. So when Rap Ref said, he needed judges and he needed this, I said, I got you. I will do this for you, because, and this is no shade to anybody else, because the only other virtual league I fuck with is the Restore Order Battle League. That's it, right? But I just don't want to be promoting battles, and especially with the fact that a lot of the battlers, like, I don't even fuck with. Like, why am I going to promote their like, when I don't even like battle rap anymore? You know what I mean? But I still understand bars, and I am going to be a judge on The Ring. Sick Mosh versus Tazzle Flames and whatever other battles are on that card. And if you want to donate to the pot, Rap Ref asked that it be sent to my Cash App, $ Social Assassin 47, capital S on social, capital A on assassin, $ Social Assassin 47. If you want to donate to The Ring, just make sure you put in the note that it's for The Ring. All right. Because I have a lot of money coming in and out of my Cash App. So I just need to be sure, I need to know. But bro, comment of the fucking year. Comment of the year. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I don't recognize the name and it doesn't say The Ring, yeah, it's going in my bank account or something. Nah, the great weed I've been getting lately has been free, so free to an extent. I do got to double check on the date of the event. I believe it's March. Oh, fuck. I know it's in March. I just can't remember. I'll have to ask Rap Ref, but all right. That being said, Let me look at some of these comments, then I do got to get up out of here. Facts. Facts. Clip, thank you. Thank you. Battle rap is a dark tunnel that leads to a brick wall, which means you're doing a whole lot for very little to no payoff. And it's true. And it's true. But as far as the ring goes, you know, I made a commitment to the ring, and I, you know, I'm not going to be there for every event, but for this one, I definitely felt it was necessary that I be a part of it. At least as a judge. At least as a judge. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Yep. Yep. Word. Yeah, man. If you just want to write a verse and spit a verse, like I know Rap Ref's down with stuff like that, because that's what it is. That's what the ring is. Like it could be a 1-round battle, it could be a 3-round battle, it could be someone just saying, "Hey, I just want to spit a verse." Hey, you know, whatever. It could be whatever. So I think that would be totally cool. You know, maybe I'll one of them. Maybe if there's no other battles booked, maybe I'll spit a verse. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna battle nobody, but maybe I'll spit a verse. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But so yeah, if like Sick Mosh versus Tazlo is the only battle on the card, yeah, maybe me and Fresh can each spit a verse or something, back to back or whatever. Thank you, Clip. Thank you. Yep, that's basically it, man. You know, and I still have love for battle rap because it was a great, you know, it was something that was a big part of my life for a long time. It's just the way battle rap is now, it's just not for me. You know what I mean? But for the people I rock with that are doing it right, and Adept does it right as well. You know what I mean? But Adept does a lot of events. So like I just don't want to have to be promoting events all the time. So that's why I don't want Adept to take offense when I don't promo the cards, because it's like I don't want to get back into that habit. You know what I mean? But for the ring, something that's only a couple times a year, you know, like and especially just coming back for this one, I don't even know if I'll be back for the next one. I'll always help donate to the pot, and I'll always help holding on to the money if they need me to, whatever, you know. But like as far as judge and things like that, you know, this might be the last time. So, but that being said, some things just run its course. Exactly, Clip. Exactly. And Frescoes, I feel you, bro. I have a ton of verses that I just want to spit. Like, I just want to rap. And that, you know, it's the best verses I ever wrote in my life. And I just don't spit them. I just don't spit them. But, we are going to be recording. We are going to be recording, that Marv 1 beat very soon. So, Seizure's going to be on it. So if anyone else is interested in being on it, just put a comment in the live or put a comment under the video later, because we do have another spot for a verse. Yep. Yeah, gotta be all in. That's a fact. Yeah, much love, man. Much love, Crucial, Fresh Coast, Clip, everybody that was in it. Bruce, of course. Yo, it's so nice to see all these day ones in here, man. That's dope. I Picante, B702, man. Like these are the names I like to see in my chat. It's missing a couple. Hazy. But it's missing a couple. But oh right, right now. Oh shit. Okay, can't help you there. But if you want to rap, yo, we can definitely talk to Rap Ref and try to make that happen on the card. So I'll let you know when the date is. I'm definitely, if Sick Mosh verse, if that's the only battle, I'll definitely spit a 16. Bruce Ninja blowing smoke. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this live up for like a little while so people can run back the story and watch the story. But then I'm gonna private it later and I'm gonna edit it so that way it's just the story, and then the second half of the live I'll just release as a separate video because yeah, I want to make sure that video that story gets told right. Blue Dream, salute. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Yep, I'm literally smoking one. All right, y'all. I'm out this bitch. Y'all have a great Sunday, man. Blessings to everyone. Prayers up for anyone going through any tough times. Salute to all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. We out this bitch. Peace.